Girls of Reddit, what's the best pickup line someone used on you? My first kiss was with my best friend at the time in middle school. He bet me a quarter that he could kiss me without touching my lips. I thought he was just going to kiss my cheek or hand or something and say I owed him a quarter, but he really kissed me, pulled a quarter out of his pocket, pressed it in my hand and said worth it. That's pretty smooth for middle school. I'm 42 and impressed. Not a pickup line exactly, but a girl and I kept noticing each other at a club one night. We were both out with friends and it was really crowded, so we never quite made our way to each other till I was leaving. Just before I got to the door, she came up to me and clipped a clothespin to my shirt with her phone number written on it. "So you can't lose it," she said. No idea where the hell she got a clothespin, but damn it was charming. I am a girl, by the way. The one that worked the best on me was a guy who had learned a memorization trick where you give them 30 words and they remember each one in order, and recite them back to you after an hour. It seems way more impressive when everyone is drunk though, and makes a great icebreaker for starting a conversation. It's smart because it means you will still be talking in an hour. The trick is simple. They aren't going to remember the words anyway, so as long as you get the first 5 right and the last couple, you are good to go. Sitting in a cafe doing homework. I hear a guy go, "I'm not trying to weird, I'm just trying to figure out what kind of math you're doing, because I think you're doing it wrong." He was right and helped me out. Asked me out in a date afterwards and we've been together 7 years, married almost more than half of that. The only time in history the nerdy, well actually, has worked. Yep. He was just really nice about it, and after he helped we just hit it off really well. When I agreed to go on a date with him, he actually didn't think I was serious. It was really adorable. Best pickup line was actually accidental, but it made me laugh and we would up talking for a bit after. But this dude comes up to me in a bar and goes, "Hey. So, I'm a girl," then pauses, looks horrified, and goes, "I meant you're a girl." Then looks even more horrified and goes, "That isn't even good that way. So which one of you is a girl?" I am actually a girl. Apparently his intention was to come up all smooth and be like, "So as a girl at a bar, how would you like to be hit on?" It wasn't use on me, but I overheard a conversation between this guy with a heavy French accent and some girl in front of me in an economics class. I wasn't really paying attention till I heard him say, "Let me take you out for ice cream, you look like you'd enjoy some French vanilla," and I almost died. She said no, and I later found out he wasn't even French, just very good at accents. Edit autocorrect. I don't like when people hit on me at work, but this one made me chuckle. I'm a baker and I was putting some hamburger buns on the shelf. A guy walked up behind me and said, "Hey, nice buns." Simple, but I laughed. Edit, anyone else want to make the beaver joke? Original, y'all. Peter, I'm holding melons. I was working at a sushi restaurant in a small Texas town. I was serving a group of 3, a couple and their friend. So at the end of the meal the lonely guy, one may call him a neckbeard or one of those nice guy types, asks if we'll open fortune cookies with them. In my head, I'm thinking I hope this gets me a decent tip. I open my cookie and it has some generic fortune. I ask him what his says. He replies without missing a beat, "My says the cute waitress will give me her number." I giggled and politely declined, saying I have a boyfriend. It was one of the smoothest pick lines I've ever seen used, but also from the least likely of people. I actually tried a variation of this on the spot once, and got absolutely brutalized. My buddy got a fortune that said he should have tried the duck. He thought it was strange, so he called the waitress over and showed her. "Waitress, can I keep this to show my manager? I've never seen one like it before." Buddy, "Sure." Waitress, "What does yours say?" Me, "Weird. It says the gorgeous waitress will give me her number." Waitress, "Weird. All your lucky numbers are already printed on the back." Me, https://i.imager.com/nvf2jut.jpg. One time in Vegas, I was at a pool party dancing with a group of girls, bachelorette party. I saw a guy watching me dance and eventually he made his way over to me. After talking to him for a couple of minutes and him asking to dance with me, I told him I was married. I told him I had a friend in my group that was single and I was about to point her out when he said, "You are the only person I've wanted to dance with since I saw you walk in. I'm sure your friend is lovely, but she won't be you." Not a girl, but saw my friend be incredibly smooth. While sitting at a bar one night, he was showing me his new iPhone. I think it was iPhone 7, as there was enough new stuff that warranted him showing it off. Girl next to him asks if it's the new iPhone, he says yes. She asks for his favorite feature, and he says this while handing her the phone. It was the new contact screen. She just smiled and put in her name and number. Anybody wanna see my fives? Anyone wanna see my smashed up SE in a case that makes it look like a 3GS? He walked up to me, asked if I'd like a kiss, then offered from a big bag of Hershey's Kisses. After that, he walked away. Had chocolate, had. To clarify, I've told this story before and had people confused about how happened if he walked away. I approached him soon afterwards. His opener was light and funny, and then he backed off and gave me space to respond on my own terms, which showed he wasn't pushy. He offered his chocolate to everyone, too. Not just girls. That really reflected well upon him. My stepdad taught me this one. He would always give me a giant Hershey kiss before I went on dates as a teenager. The move was to put it behind the passenger seat and at the end of the night ask, "Do you mind if I give you a kiss?" Then lean in and reach behind her seat and give her a massive Hershey kiss. For some reason, I got a real kiss every single time. The man is a genius. Not exactly a pickup line, but the first time I talked to my husband, he asked me if I wanted to see a picture of his baby girl. He was 19 at the time, so I was thinking, oh wow, he's young to have a baby girl. But I said sure, okay. It was a puppy. I don't know if it was the fact that he referred to his puppy as his baby girl or what, but it was instant attraction. Using a puppy is cheating. Can confirm it is cheating. But rules 1 and 2 still apply. Not exactly a pickup line, and I don't know the best one, but probably the most memorable one though. But we were walking on the street and I spotted this really gorgeous guy and we had instant chemistry. We smiled at each other and dude start immediately crossing the street like an idiot, almost gets hit by a car. The first thing he says at me is, "Look at that, almost died." Worth it though. He was a really sweet and was visibly stunned of actually doing what he did, and that you could tell he didn't thought it through and didn't know what to do next. His awkwardness made it even more charming. Did anything come from it? Did you two start seeing each other? Still together? Remain friends? She killed him and ate his brain, as most females of this species do. Not a girl, but too good not to share. It was Halloween. I was part of a gaggle of geese, dressed in a very homemade goose costume. I was at a house party and the backyard was packed. I got separated from my gaggle. As I was looking around, the crowd split, as if Moses himself parted the seas. At the end of the open gap was standing a girl dressed as a bee. We made eye contact. A lonely bird, a lonely bee. I slowly made my way through the gap of people and got close enough to the bee that I could speak quietly in her ear. I said, "People sing songs about us." She laughed. We banged. The birds and the bees, together again. Edit. To all those asking, the story is quite true. The gaggle was the go-to Halloween costume for me and my friends for several years. We would carry around styrofoam eggs. That way, whenever we would get up in public, especially when offering a seat at a bar, we'd leave an egg behind and say like, "Oh my god. So embarrassing." This never happens, honestly. We would gift hotter girls our eggs, telling them that we had fun nesting our offspring but that it was their turn now. Our gaggle grew usually by one every year because everyone saw how fun it was. I was in New Orleans for Halloween one year visiting my brother, and we were out in the city and ran into a flock of chickens. We got in a bird dance off in the middle of Bourbon Street. It was epic. Another year, we ended the Halloween festivities with a gaggle trip to a strip club. We got our feathers everywhere. We made it rain, but in art store feathers. Apparently, that currency is no good to the managers, but hilarious to the strippers. I ended up dating a smoking hot, fresh off the boat, 21-year-old Russian girl. I flew south on her several times. Also in New Orleans, I wore the costume for 4 nights and days straight. Honestly never changed, because the party never stopped in no. By day 3, I looked like a combination of a crippled NYC pigeon living in the Bronx and a date Big Bird. Still fun. Whenever the gaggle split up at a bar or party, people would ask me, "What the are you? A bird?" And I'd say, "No, I'm a gaggle of geese." And they'd reply, "Where's your gaggle then, goose?" All I had to do was honk loudly towards the heavens, and the party or bar would be drowned out with the cacophonous sound of my honking fellows in the near and far distance, serving as proof that I was, indeed, a part of a gaggle. Birds of a feather and all. One year we even painted the tips of our fingers orange so we could make a beak with our hands. We'd often raise our hands to the sky and honk. Looked like a bunch of geese like periscopes creeping around a crowd. 10/10 would recommend.